It's 1 o'clock and it's time for What the Health is Wrong with You? It's not what you think. And I see people ready to come on in. I am Debbie Williams, your board certified nutritionist. Hello, hello, hello. Just see if everything's okay on this one for me, Britt. Hi, everyone. Come on in. And this one, too. We always having issues with YouTube. What does that mean?
That's fine. That's the usual message.
That's going to go away. Okay. Hey, everybody. I see everybody coming in. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, today's topic is so good. I cannot wait to share with you what I need to talk about today. Our topic is about sugar, and many of us have sugar cravings and you want to get it under control. Well, today I am spilling the tea about sugar, and I'm going to be making you, I don't know if you all can see, I'm going to be making you a detox tea to help you manage your sugar cravings, but it's bigger than that. Okay, today's topic is so huge. I have a story to tell, but I want everybody to come on in. Hi, everybody. Hi, Yvette. How are you? Britt, that hasn't gone away yet. So I want to make sure if you are on YouTube and you can see me and there's nothing blocking, please say, yes, I see you, because something is there that is not moving away.
Yeah, that's not, that just means
that's going to go away.
I don't know if it goes away, but it's just saying that only subscribers can send messages.
Okay, got it. Okay. Hi, Patrie. Hi, Glitch. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? So sugar is a problem for all of us, or has been. I know once upon a time, it was a big problem for me. I was addicted to sugar. I needed my ice cream. I needed my butter cookies. I needed all these things, but that was before I was a nutritionist, and that was before I understood the right way to eat. But something just happened recently that I had to stop what I was doing to make this live for you today in regards to sugar. I don't even know where I need to begin. But if you have a sugar craving, please comment, I do, so that I know that this is related to you and related to your family and your kids. But before we get started, what I want to talk about is how sugar affects our children. One thing we didn't do is, hold on guys, we needed to, because messages are coming, we did not put this on airplane mode and do not disturb. Is that the only one, or?
This one is on it. Your other phone might not be on.
Okay. Sorry, guys. You know, in the beginning, we're live. So you have some technical difficulties, and we are dealing with those technical difficulties. But my team, we got it. Anyway, I don't even know where to begin. Sugar is, how many of you know that sugar is an addiction? Studies show that sugar is more powerful and more addictive than, you ready for this? Meth, heroin, and crack cocaine. That's not something that I'm saying. That's what studies have been proven and have shown. The addiction is incredible, and many of us take advantage of it. Why am I so pumped up about sugar? Because last week, y'all just had that Halloween. I don't get down with no Halloween, but y'all had that Halloween, and people were feeding their kids all of the sugar. And you don't realize all of that sugar that you were giving to your kids last week because you thought it was cute because they was in the costume, it has affected their brain, it has affected their liver, it has affected their gut. How many of you who gave your kids a lot of candy last week is noticing that this week they got a lot of attitude? There's behavioral issues. They're irritable. They're crying more. They're more emotional. If you did not put the puzzle together, it is because of the amount of sugar that they have had, or the amount of sugar that was introduced to them last week. Now, and it's crazy because around Halloween, our kids get 3 to 4 times the amount of sugar, or Halloween and the holidays, and it is making our kids sick. And it is actually, if we as parents don't acknowledge this right now, we are part of the problem as our kids grow up and they start having liver health problems, gut health problems, mental health problems. All of those things is because we've been feeding them this processed sugar that has destroyed their liver. Now, how many of you know, and we don't think about this, that our kids right now could have gut health problems? We know the word gut health is a trendy word. We hear it all over the place. And now many people are like, I want to heal my gut. I want a detox. But nobody's thinking about our children, that they too need to detox, or they too have a gut health problem, or they too have a liver health problem. When our kids have a lot of acne, Our kids are overweight. Our kids, their hair isn't growing. Our kids have behavioral issues. We're talking the ADHD and all those different mental health issues that they are now tagging onto our children. No one is connecting it to the sugar overload that we as parents been giving them, that our teachers have been giving them, that their grandparents and friends or whoever has been giving them. That is one of the issues. So let me share my story to prove my story is factual. So you all know my baby lives with me. And we stopped a few years ago giving him sugar because we started noticing that when he ate sugar, he's 10 now, but when he eats sugar, he would become unfocused. He would be very agitated. And I figured that out as a nutritionist because I'm always, when something is not right or when there's a psychological issue, I always sit back and journal, is there a connection to a food that person has eaten? In most cases, our psychological problems, our mental health problems is connected to what we are putting in our mouth. And it's backed up by studies that I've researched and found that is the case. Well, okay, let's talk about him. This is where this is all about. I had to, and I'll just say this before we get started. So today's topic wasn't supposed to be about sugar. This was supposed to be about skin. But because of what just transpired with me and him, him and his teachers, I was like, yeah, stop the presses. I need to share with the world about sugar. So I am calling this what you call, what do you call it? A special service announcement. Remember back in the day when something would come across the TV screen and everything you was watching was off? This is a special service announcement for us to understand what our children is going through. Okay, so again, we don't do Halloween. We don't celebrate any of that. But he's 10, so obviously in school last week, there was candy everywhere. Obviously the teachers had candy, the school bus driver had candy, and of course, he's a kid. He was like, well, I'm not celebrating it. They handed it to me. So of course he ate it. He started eating it. By Friday of last week, I got a phone call. Well, no, it didn't start with a call. I got an email from one of his teachers, long email. In the email, she explained to me that he had behavioral issues and was having behavioral issues all of last week. And in her email, she said to me, she was very surprised of his behavior. She said he was disrespectful. She said he disrespected another kid in the class. He refused to apologize. He was rude, things of that nature. And as I read it, I was like, okay, wait a minute. But I had noticed that I too was having issues with him last week, behavioral issues. He was talking back, a little under the breath, a little rolling of the eyes. And I was like, okay, where's this coming from? So now when she sends me this email, I'm going, oh man, this sounds exactly like the problem I've been having with him this week, which was last week. So I'm thinking, okay, what is going on with him? What is he eating? I still didn't connect that sugar and that candy and that Halloween and all that stuff that was going on. I didn't connect none of it. He came home from school. I talked to him about it. Hey, your teacher called me. What was happening? You know, you never be disrespectful to a teacher. When Monday comes, you better go and apologize. And, you know, his side of the story was very different from the teacher, but he still had a little bit of attitude. And I was like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. There are consequences for your behavior. So that weekend, he couldn't watch his video. He couldn't play his video games. He couldn't do a lot of things that he normally do. Now, Monday came around. I said, when I'm walking him to the bus stop, don't forget, you're going to apologize to the teacher. You're going to go to the person in the classroom that you was rude to, and you're going to apologize. What do I need to apologize for? I didn't do nothing. This was Monday morning, and I'm going, well, who do you think you're talking to? I need you to back this up. So again, Monday, after he got on the bus, I'm walking back to the house and going, his attitude for the last week, really, it's an issue. Well, I noticed this week, he still had a lot of attitude and talking back under his breath and all that there. Again, I was starting to connect it to the sugar, but I wasn't sure. Now, this is when the connection came. When another teacher, his favorite teacher, yesterday, she texted me that she was having problems with him. He was having behavioral issues. He was being very disrespectful to her. Now, this is the second teacher who told me this 10-year-old kid was being disrespectful. And I know he's never disrespectful to anybody outside. Now, in this house, he might try it, and we'd be like, dude, I'm going to need you to back it up. But outside, everybody thinks he's the most sweetest, lovable kid in the world. So when she texted me, I said, something is wrong. Something is going on. Now, today, his main teacher reached out to me and said, I've been having problems with him for the last few days. He won't listen. He won't sit down. He's talking back. He's rolling his eyes. And boom, I made the connection. It's the sugar. Now, not only did he have a whole lot of sugar from all that candy that they was given, because he got a bag of candy at basketball practice. He was getting candy probably from every teacher during last week. And then his father came home with a shopping bag full of candy. And I'm not exaggerating when I say shopping bag. So he had all this candy, and I heard his father say to him, I don't want to give you this candy because you're going to get in trouble. And Mimi, you're going to get in trouble with Mimi. I'm Mimi. And he was like, no, I'm not. It's going to be cool. I stayed out of it. But when I put it all together, this kid has been acting up, having behavioral issues because of all of the sugar, all of the candy. So what I want to bring to all of you today, what candy is doing to our children. So if you have a child and you think that your child is disrespectful, you think that your child is talking back, you think that your child is just, maybe it doesn't even have to be the talking back, but your child you got to handle that child in more ways. It's not the child. Okay, it's an imbalance in their liver and it's an imbalance in their gut. What I wanted to bring and help you all understand is what we are doing to our kids. Now, when our kids eat this sugar, what happens is within minutes, the blood sugar spikes. The brain gets flooded with dopamine, okay? And dopamine is the feel-good chemical. And this makes the kids hyper, and it makes them excited, and it makes them very impulsive. Now, what happens then, the pancreas rushes to release insulin to control that sugar surge. Now, all of this is going on inside of their body. And then the liver starts storing excess sugar as fat because it's too much sugar at one time, and the liver is like, wait a minute, hold up, this is too much. I need to try to store some of this. So all of that is going on, and this rush that these kids get, this is where the trouble starts. This is where the mood comes in. This is where the irritability comes in. This is where the disrespect comes in, and the fatigue. So again, if you have a child who is talking back, who has focus problems, because that's the other thing. It affects the brain in such a way they can't focus, they can't think straight, they can't remember things. It's what they're eating. So as a nutritionist, I'm always talking about adult health. I'm always talking about what we're eating as adults. But we got to think about what we're feeding our kids represent what our kids do, how they feel, how they grow, and all of that. These same kids could be the same kids that grows up with fatty liver disease, and actually statistics is showing more children are showing up with fatty liver disease. More children, okay, that's 18 and under is showing up with more fatty liver disease. And we as parents we're contributing to this without knowing that we are contributing to this. But I know I don't give him candy. That candy came from all the candy that came from the streets of what happened last week. But I felt the effects of it. So these are the things that I want to go over today. So here's what sugar does to our body as adults, but especially kids. The first thing is it hijacks your brain. Sugar, like I mentioned, triggers that dopamine, okay? So the brain just lights up and then it crashes. It causes irritability and poor focus. So yesterday when he came home from school, I said to him, another teacher called me. Okay, now I told you, we got problems if the school is calling, if the school is saying stuff. Oh, he was on this. She don't know what she's talking about. I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I'm just standing there and I'm looking at him while he got all this body movement and all this to me. And I'm like, first of all, I'm going to need you to stop all that hand movement and body movement in my face. Well, let me explain. I wound up calling her because this teacher is a friend and she loves him and she's always defending him. That's why I know if she called to tell me he was disrespectful, well, she texted me and I wound up calling her to have a conversation. I knew she wasn't lying. So I called her when he got home from school. I had her on speaker and I said, please tell me what you told me he did today. So she started telling me and now he's looking at the phone. Oh, that ain't true. So now he's talking back to her on the phone and I'm going, wait a minute. So my point is he was really hyped up. But after we got off the phone, after I told him, dude, I can't right now. I can't do this with you. Go to your room and I'll deal with you later, okay? Because he was stealing my energy. I still had a lot of work to do. Within the 5 minutes of him going into his room, he laid on his bed and fell asleep. Why? That was that crash. So after all of the sugar, there is a crash. And that crash, they're tired, they're exhausted. And he crashed and he slept for hours yesterday. So again, it hijacks the brain. The next thing that the sugar does to our children is it burns out the liver. Now, the liver has to process every gram of sugar that we eat, that our kids eat, that we process. And that excess sugar turns into fat into the liver, which leads to, you ready for this? Inflammation, a sluggish detox, which means our 5 detox pathways cannot detox what they need to get out of the body right now, because if the liver is slow, then everything's slow. Every organ in our body relies on that liver. So when that liver starts to burn out, get tired, get sluggish, every organ is going to be affected by it. And this right here is where the problem comes. So it burns out the liver in our kids. It disrupts the gut microbiome in a big way. Now, sugar feeds the bad bacteria. So we have good bacteria, we have bad bacteria. And for all of you who don't know, our body, actually, we have more bacteria in our body than we have human cells. That's from science, that's not from me. So we have good bacteria, we have bad. Well, when we're eating a whole lot of sugar, it feeds the bad bacteria and the yeast. And yes, we have yeast in our body. That's a part of some of the bacteria that the body has naturally. So the sugar feeds the bad bacteria and it feeds the yeast. And guess what the sugar is also doing? It's killing off a lot of our good bacteria. So when it kills off our good bacteria, and most of the good bacteria that it's killing off, it's the bacteria that controls our mood. It's the bacteria that helps with digestion. It's the bacteria that helps with immunity. That's what the sugar is doing. So it's killing all the good stuff off, and the bad is just growing and moving in and taking over. Now, this imbalance sends wrong messages to the brain, and it's telling the brain, I need more sugar, because there's a connection between our gut and our brain. And it's telling the brain, get me more sugar. And that's where that addiction, that's where that cravings come in. And that's where that emotional instability comes in. And I'm hoping many of you are really listening to this, because we have problems with our children with behavioral, and no one is connecting when they are misbehaving that it's not their fault. It is what we are feeding them. Whether it's that box cereal that many of you are giving your kids in the morning time, that is a contributor to what they are doing and saying, and why maybe their grades aren't the best, why they can't focus, why they're crying all the time. All these different things, we have contributed to that. Also, sugar actually stresses our kidneys. Now, the kidneys, they work overtime filtering out excess sugar from our blood. That's very, very important. But over time, this sugar, this constant candy and box cereal and Pop-Tarts and soda and these fake juices and all those different things, these actually damage the kidney's filtration system all the time. And this can raise blood pressure, which can contribute to high blood pressure from this. And it also can create dehydration and weaken the body's detox ability. So that's what it does to our kidneys. It also, the sugar inflames the whole body. So that inflammation is from eating a lot of this processed sugar. Sugar triggers chronic inflammation. It's making kids moody. It's making kids tired. It's making kids puffy and prone to allergies and skin issues. So if you have a child who has a lot of allergies and skin issues, you got to go back to, when did you start letting them have those fruit juices in the box, which is mostly sugar and nothing natural in it. And sugar rewires behavior. So the sugar high, because that's when they're eating all this sugar, when they get this sugar high, there's a sugar high and then they crash. And this mimics emotional instability. This is what happened to my baby. That emotional instability. And he didn't know, and even now, but he's still gonna have to deal with his consequences. I'm not saying because he was disrespectful and I'm blaming it on the sugar, he's gonna get away with it. Absolutely not. But the thing is, how he's acting, he doesn't realize that it has a lot to do with the imbalance, the sugar overload, the instability that's wrecking his liver, his kidneys, his gut, and even his brain. Now, let me share this with you. The American Heart Association, and it's written in there on their site, that for an adult, specifically a woman, she should not have no more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day. For men, it's 9. Well, 6 teaspoons comes out to be about 25 grams of sugar in a day. Well, a candy bar alone might have 30 or 40 grams of sugar. So think about it. If an adult from the American Heart Association, and I think the the World Organization also said that too in regards to it. But if an adult woman should only take 6 teaspoons, 25 grams, then you obviously know that should be less for a child. But if 6 teaspoons equal 25 grams of sugar, and a candy bar, one candy bar might have 30 to 40 grams, and that's not even including all the other foods that the child would have been eating during the day, from their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner, because there's sugars in these things too. That means a child may have 100 grams of sugar in a day. And can you imagine what that's doing to their blood, how it's regulating their blood, the spiking of their blood? So if you have a kid who always seems like they're always in trouble, sit back and think what you've been feeding that child for the most of their life. You got to take some responsibilities for this. And now it's up to you to say, okay, I'm going to change. You can start with yourself, because usually if a kid is eating a whole lot of sugar at home, that means at home, there's a lot of sugar you all are eating it. So it has to start from us as a parent to be able to fix that. So let me share some of the places where sugar hides. They hide in those fruit juices. So you're buying those juice boxes. What? Turn the juice box off. As a matter of fact, I remember buying a brand and I put it back because, well, I didn't buy it. I looked at it and it said, and my baby was the one who brought it to my attention when we were shopping, because I've been teaching him to read labels. One juice box had 40 grams of sugar, and there were 8 in there. And I remember when I would buy them, he might drink 2 or 3 of those in a day. So that's when I was like, oh yeah, we gotta stop the juice boxes. So the sugar is hiding in the fruit boxes. The sugar is hiding in those sports drinks. The sugar is hiding in those flavored yogurts. They're hiding in the box cereals and the cereal bars. It's hiding in those sauces, barbecue sauces and ketchups and all that there. It's hiding in the salad dressings. It's even hiding in the peanut butter. So what we need to do is, if we want to make sure that our kids grow up to be healthy adults, we have to start with how we are feeding them. And here's another one that's big. The artificial colors that are in our candies that they're feeding our kids, that's a whole different topic. Because not only are they getting sugar from these terrible candies, but they're also getting chemicals from these terrible candies. And it's not just the candies, it's those baked pastries, and y'all know which ones I'm talking about. It's the cookies and all those different things. Now, that we're talking red number 40, yellow number 5, blue number 1, and I forget, it's another one, another color. But these things, they disrupt the brain chemistry. Studies show that the synthetic dyes, that red 40 and that yellow 5, can aggravate, hyperactivity and irritability and inattention to our kids. And it's really in sensitive children. And I believe mine is a sensitive child. Not emotionally, but I believe his body chemistry is very sensitive. It also shows that those artificial colors that are in these foods that we are feeding our kids, it triggers allergic responses. So if your kid has allergies, it could be because they've been eating red number 40, they've been eating yellow 5, and they've been eating all those different synthetic dyes that has been doing that. Now, red 40 and yellow 5 can cause immune reactions in the gut lining. And this leads to inflammation and changes in behavior and mood. That's why I said this was what I'm calling my special service announcement. We have to understand what we are doing to our children. When they act up, we're looking at them like, what is wrong with you? And I can't believe you're acting up. Sit back and go, what did I feed her? What did I feed him? Then you need to understand, now you can believe why they're acting up. Also, these artificial colors, it stresses our liver. Our liver is the hardest working organ in our body, and many of us don't look at our children for liver health, but I need you to start looking at your child for liver health. This is very important on how we feed our kids and their behavior and their psychological, mental health is being affected by this. Those artificial colors, how would I say, most of it, they're when they break down, the liver can't break it down, and it actually adds a harder workload on the liver, on the kidneys, and it's a problem. That's that, all of that there. And it also alters, and right now I'm just talking about the chemicals that's in these candies. We already addressed the sugar, but the chemicals is also doing damage because it alters their gut bacteria, or our gut bacteria if you're one that eat a lot of candy too. So some food dyes act like toxins to the microbiome. It reduces beneficial bacteria and it keeps the gut-brain axis unbalanced. So all of this happens when we are eating these candies, when we are contributing to them with artificial colors. And there was something that I wrote down. I want to read this to you real quick. Now, why is all this happening? Because the name of my my live today was I was spilling the tea on sugar. I am going to show you how to make a cilantro and parsley detox tea, because that's what we're needing. On our children, if we're trying to detox them, we have to be very gentle with their little bodies. And so, will they drink this tea? Well, I don't know, but I'm just going to show you how to make this tea. But this tea is not just for our kids, it's for you too. So if you are wanting to learn how to detox your body, there's a good way and a bad way. There's a right way and a wrong way. And I do a 30-day detox program. But today, I'm not talking about that program. I'll talk about it at the end. I'm just talking about how this sugar has overloaded our children, how it's affecting their brain, it's affecting their behavior, affecting everything about them. It's affecting their liver and kidneys, and how we need to start learning how to detox our children too, so that we can help them have a healthier life. We need to pull out all the bad foods. We need to replace with good eating. But mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, it starts with you. Okay, so you have to eat right for them to eat right. Because if you eating bad and you telling them you need to eat right, they're just going to point at you, go, yeah, but you eating that cheeseburger, so why can't I? So we need to be able to show by example. We need to be able to say, okay, listen, I'm not eating that no more. I'm throwing all this away. We all gonna start eating good. And most people don't start thinking about eating good until somebody is very sick. Somebody's in the hospital. Now everybody was like, I'm gonna do better. No, we need to start doing better now. And then we have people that's always like, the new year is coming, I'm gonna improve. No, the new year will be here in a little while. Let's start this right now. But here's some things I wrote this down just for all of you who love your children and want to do better in regards to what they're eating. I wanted to share with you a list of what is in, how many grams are in certain things that you're giving your baby. Remember, 6 teaspoons is 25 grams for an adult woman. So that means a child should be half of that, maybe 3 teaspoons, which means they should be at 12 grams in a day for a child. Well, a 12-ounce can of cola is 39 grams, one. A bottle of Mountain Dew, 46 grams, one. Orange juice, yeah, 8-ounce, that orange juice you buy that y'all got in the refrigerator, that sugary, when you go back to the store, please take it out, open, turn it around while it's still in the store and read the label. Well, an 8-ounce glass of orange juice, the ones that you find from the store, has 21 grams, 1 8-ounce glass. Apple juice from the store, not the stuff you can make yourself with your juicer. Apple juice has 26 grams. Remember, our children should have about 12 grams in a day, not per serving. Our flavored chocolate milk that they get from school, 33 grams. So that's why a lot of times when they come home, they're turning it up. It started at school with what they're eating in their lunch. A small bag of Cheetos, 5 grams. A chocolate chip cookie, 9 grams, 1 cookie, okay? Flavored yogurt, let's not get it twisted. We think that we're feeding our kids well when we give them yogurt, but those flavored yogurts are laced with sugar. If we want to do a yogurt, it needs to be a natural yogurt, but then you figure the kid might not eat it. Well, throw some berries in it, throw some fruit in it. But a flavored yogurt is 14 grams, 1 flavored yogurt, okay? The toaster pastries, it lists here, Pop-Tarts and all those there, 38 grams, and that's for 2 pastries. The breakfast cereals, the breakfast cereals, it says here, per serving is anywhere between 9 to 12 grams per serving in a breakfast cereal. The fruit snacks that we think is healthy, the ones that says it has the vitamin C and all that in it, they have anywhere from 20 to 25 grams per serving. This list could go on and on and on, but I just needed you as a parent, as a guardian, to understand that what we are giving our children, we are contributing to their health, to their well-being, to their mental health. And you know, we all have to deal with mental health, but our kids are trying to grow up to become an adult. And if they're having mental health issues at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, if we don't fix that now, imagine what their mental health capacity is going to look like as an adult. Now, one other thing before I start making this tea, I want to show you how to make this tea. It's real quick and simple. I want you to know one thing. Remember I said it was last week when his teacher called me. Now, Monday, I didn't get a call until yesterday, but now that I'm hearing from the teachers yesterday and today and last week, they're all saying the same thing. He's been disruptive. He's disrespectful. He's disrupted the class. His behavior has changed the energy in the classroom. 2 teachers said that to me. So it's like, oh yeah, he's turning it up in there. I needed to do research to find out, well, if you're eating a candy, how long does the sugar stay in the body? That's the part that I think you all need to know. So last week, when you all bought your kids all that candy, took them door to door, gave them a bag of candy, thought it was so cute. Ha, 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 you got all this candy. Here's what's happening. That sugar is still trying to be processed in their body. So what happens the moment a child eats candy? Like I mentioned, the brain gets flooded. It floods it, that dopamine thing's going on, but how long does it stay in there? So blood sugar levels can take 3 to 4 hours to return back to the baseline, right? That's after the candy binge. 3 to 4 hours, that's after the candy binge. But that also depends on how much candy they've eaten. We all know last week, most of you, if you participate in that, your child and you ate a whole lot of candy. So that means that's a problem. And even if when you eat this candy and you didn't come back with some fiber or some protein, jacked up the liver, jacked up your gut. The insulin and the energy balance, that takes up to 24 hours to fully stabilize. So now we went from 4 hours to 24 hours for the insulin balance to actually come back off of that child from that one day. And then the gut microbiome, the disruption in the gut microbiome, that could take anywhere from 3 to 5 days. And that's just if they had candy in that one day. So imagine if they're eating candy every single day. It doesn't give the liver a chance to recover. It doesn't give the gut a chance to heal. It's opening up an opportunity to wind up with liver issues, fatty liver disease, a disrupted gut microbiome, kidney problems, high blood pressure, and so much more. And also, all of that, when I'm talking about how long it stays in the body, this leads into inflammation. And that inflammation, which is when they have those high sugar days, like last week, that can raise inflammation and oxidative stress for up to 5 more days, especially in a sensitive child. So I just thought all of you all needs to understand the importance of what are we giving our kids? What are we feeding our children? Now, let me talk about this tea. Why am I using cilantro and parsley in this tea? And it's really simple to make. Cilantro is a hidden secret. It's a detox weapon. It's a detox weapon. Why? Because cilantro is a natural detoxifier. It's a natural chelator. It binds to heavy metals. So it binds to like aluminum, mercury, lead. It helps the liver. So is this tea helping sugar? It's helping the liver, which was the one that got caught up in the sugar fix, I guess I would call it. So we're going to be using cilantro, and then we're going to use parsley. Why? Because parsley is that herb that is one of the closest friends to our kidneys. It's a natural diuretic, and so it helps the kidneys to flush out toxins and waste. Now remember, all the sugar that our kids have, it no doubt affected their liver and kidney. So when we're looking to help our children, we want to look at the liver and the kidneys. And I don't have this here, but I can have my assistant leave a link. Zeolite is also something that is amazing for children. I'm trying to see if I have mine handy. Zeolite helps, it acts like a magnet. It helps to remove toxins and heavy metals from the body. And we use a specific brand. And team, if you guys can put it here in here, so if anyone is interested in learning about zeolite, that's something that many people are giving to their children to help detox their bodies, to help parasites and all sorts of things. So we'll leave the zeolite here for you all to know about. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so when we're doing this tea, we're going to use 1 cup of our cilantro. So you're just going to cut up, you're going to clean it first. Make sure you clean it with your solution. I use baking soda and food grade hydrogen peroxide to soak my leaves in. So we're going to be using a handful or a cupful of cilantro, which I've already cut, and we're going to use a handful or cupful of parsley. The two of these together is, I would say, one of the most amazing chelators and detoxifier for our body system. Now, in many instances, when we really want to go hard on a detox, we need more than this, but this is a start. And this is great for a start for our children. And all you're going to do is you're going to boil, you're going to put 2 cups of filtered water. Make sure your water is filtered and make sure your water is not from the tap. That is another video. 2 cups of filtered water, your cup of parsley, your cup of cilantro, you're going to pour it in, you're going to put it into your pot, and then you're going to let your pot simmer. You're going to let your pot boil for 15 minutes on the stove. I've already made it, so, and I'll let you guys, I'll see if y'all can see my cilantro tea there. But you're going to boil it. You're going to boil it for 15 minutes, and then you're going to let it simmer for 5 minutes so it can cool down. After you let it simmer for 5 minutes, then you actually have a cilantro detox tea. You have a natural 100% chelation type of tea. And chelation is the biggest thing we want to do when we're detoxing, because chelate means it's drawing it in, it's grabbing it. It's like a magnet. So toxins and heavy metals get drawn out of the body, and your body is able to remove it through urine. So with this, once you have it simmered, let me move this out the way. I don't know if you guys can see. You'll get a strainer, and you're just going to strain. And I'm making a mess here. You're going to strain your tea into your teacup. Now, you also want, I like it, I can drink it straight just like this. I see I got a leaf down in the bottom of there. But I can drink it straight like this. But if this might be maybe a little bit, because most of you are looking for sugar in your teas. And no, we are not adding no sugar in this. And no, we are not adding no honey. Even if you say, well, can I just do a raw, unfiltered honey? Listen, we need this to be straight up. We can squeeze some lemon in it, because when we squeeze lemon alkalizes the body. So, and lemon also helps with digestion, to boost digestion. So we can squeeze half a lemon in our detox tea, our cilantro and parsley detox tea, and that's all we need, and we drink. Drink your tea. And I'm telling you like this, do this in the morning, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, or do it just before bed to have your liver will thank you. Your liver will love you, because you are now helping that liver get back to do its job. But I would tell you, try this for 7 days and you'll see how your body is starting to transform. Now, this is only one step in a detox. I have a full 30-day detox program that I've been running now. I've helped thousands of women and men help to get their body back healthy. We detox, or better word to use is reset. When you want to reset your body, resetting your body means you're going to reset your 5 detox pathways. The number one detox pathway is our liver. Then we have our kidneys, we have our lymphatic system, we have our digestive system, okay, and we have our colon, and I don't know if I said skin, but the skin, our skin is the largest detox organ on our body. So in my class, we do 30 days where I work with you. So this is not a course that you got to read and videos for you to watch. This is live me. You get a meal plan, all of that for 30 days. And it's also not just detoxing the body, but we're killing and cleaning out parasites. Parasite is another problem that our children are dealing with from all the candy, all the sugar, all the different things. A lot of times it could be that they have a parasite in the body, and the parasite is actually mimicking, because a parasite can mimic so many different things. But if the parasite is eating up their nutrients, the parasite is craving sugar. So in return, the more sugar they want, they're feeding that parasite. But my 30-day detox class is not for children, just so you know. It's for us adults who really need it. When we want to help our children detox from the sugar, first thing we need to do is stop feeding them all the sugar. That's the first thing. The second thing we need to do is change their diet. They need more green leafy vegetables. They need more cruciferous vegetables. They need more fiber in their diet, flaxseed, chia seeds, things of that nature. And when they are eating sugar, like I share this with my students who are diabetic, a lot of times when they're having a fruit like a banana that has a lot of sugar in it, you have to balance it out with fiber-rich foods, because the fiber helps to slow down that sugar spiking. And so that's another thing we want to do with our children. They need more fiber in their diet. So I think I hit on everything today. So what we want to do for our children, we want to replace the soda with lemon water. That's the best thing we can give them. Now, another thing that I do in my house is we do extra virgin olive oil and lemon, and even the little ones get extra virgin olive oil and lemon. That's amazing for cravings. That's amazing to clean the body, the brain, all of that. But these are the things, like I said, we want to replace that soda and sugary stuff with lemon water, things of that nature. We want to add more protein and fiber into their diet. We want to teach our kids about real food. I don't know if you see at times, I'll have him here juicing with me because it starts from them at a youth age, teaching them how to eat right so they can grow up to be healthy, smart, functional adults. That's on us. What we do is how they turn out. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. That's me spilling the tea on sugar. And I'm about to do a sugar reset program. Just like I have my 30-day reset program, I have a sugar reset coming. However, there's a couple of things that I want to add to the program. So if you are interested when we have our sugar reset program, the goal of the sugar reset program is to get you off of eating all that sugar. Because how many of you have sugar cravings? Just be honest. Can't nobody see you if you put it in the comment. You can say me. You can say me, because I'm saying me. I used to be that person. But a lot of people is like, I need to get off this sugar, because you know it's a drug. Okay, you know it's a drug. So if you are trying to get off that sugar, then you might want to come and be with me when we do our sugar detox program. So comment sugar in the comments, and we will send you all of the information for when we are getting ready to do our sugar detox program, which is to stop you from craving sugar and salt and lose weight and clear the mind, the body, soul, all of that together. So thank you all for joining me today for What the Health is Wrong with You. It's not what you think. And today, like I said, I changed the topic. I felt this was a public service announcement. We got to address our kids. We got to address how we need to help our children grow up to be smart, intelligent women and men. They have to grow up the right way, and it's all up to us. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next week in our What the Health is Wrong with You? It's not what you think. I don't know what happened here. Hey, Britt.
She's outside.
She went outside?
Sitting on the stoop.
Okay. So, guys, you're still with me because my team member who's here, who usually here to help me stop the live, she's not here. So I got to figure out how to shut this off myself. I don't normally know how to do it. I don't know if that stopped it. Yeah, can you call her? Well, I'll just talk to you guys until she comes to turn this off because I don't know. I'm not the hand pointer. I don't know how to turn it off. So while I'm waiting for her, let me see if is there anything that I missed in my conversation with you guys today. I think I hit on everything. I touched on every topic. I usually have my notes here. And all my notes, I have everything that we talked about. If you're interested in my next 30-day detox program, we are actually starting the next one in January. So right now, we are putting together a big sign up, a big bonus, a big Black Friday type of thing. If you're looking to be able to do our 30-day detox program. If you comment detox here in this thread, we will be able to send you all of the information for our 30-day detox program. Do you see her?
Yeah, she said, I told her to come.
Oh, okay. If you are interested in my next program, then just comment detox and we'll send that to you. If you're interested in the sugar program, then comment sugar and we'll send you when that program is ready. And also, I don't have it with me. Many of you, I have to remind you of this. So I just came out with my juicing book. It's called Health in a Glass. And I was a little disturbed when I looked to see that somebody already tried to copy my work. They made a book and theirs is very similar to mine. So if you're going to Amazon to look for my recipe book, it's called Health in a Glass by Debbie Williams. Make sure you look at it because there's a lot of fake ones out there. As soon as, I guess maybe I'm a trendsetter. I don't know. But it seems like every time I put something out, you got a bunch of people running after it and now they're putting their own out. Like now I'm seeing a whole bunch of people now doing a 30-day detox in the same format as mine. I didn't create it, but now it's like, okay, all right. So anyhow, if you're looking for the book, please just look for Health in a Glass by Debbie Williams. Otherwise, you might be buying somebody else's book. So thank you guys. I'm going to figure it out. I think she ran to the bathroom. So I need to figure out how to shut this down because I don't know how to shut it down. They've shown me many times before, but because I don't have to, I don't. So I think I got it there. Let's see here. Let's figure out how to shut this down. Well, I guess we're going to stay here. I have to figure it out. Tell her I need her to turn it off because I don't know how to do it. Can you turn it off? I turned that one off. I don't know how to turn these off. We're still live. Hi, everybody.